Alright guys, what's going on? And welcome back to Clever's Multiverse. So well, check this out. So for those of you who saw my video on Saturday where I went out to Target trying to get the Andrew Garfield, you saw that it didn't work out for me, right? Well, let me tell you right now, my luck has changed. So I was going to Walmart the other day just to get some other stuff, and I said, let me just swing through this aisle, even though I was here 24 hours ago. And guess what? I went through and I found Andrew Garfield sitting right there, right behind Sandman. I didn't want the Sandman, so I put him back. But I saw Sandman from deep and I was like, whoa, he was not here yesterday. So boom, I moved Sandman and guess who was standing right behind him? But as I picked up Andrew Garfield, my luck just continued to grow. And who is there? What? Tobey Maguire just sitting right there looking right at me like he was in Toy Story talking about, yo, I know you're going to take me home. Like, you need to grab me. And listen, yeah, I'll be the first time I'm probably going to say this in front of anybody, but I am not the biggest Tobey Maguire fan. It sucks. I hope I don't lose no subscribers, but listen, I am not the biggest Tobey Maguire fan. I understand he started it. A lot of it's nostalgia. I always felt that he had the most smackable face out of all of them. And I just never really grew to him. But I understand that I do need this dude in my collection. And he was standing right there looking at me, so I had to grab him. So then I went to grab him. And guess what? The Tom Holland Spider-Man is sitting right behind Tobey Maguire. And he's looking at me like, well, if you took them two, you gotta take me. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this wasn't even in my budget. And I was like, whoa, I did not expect to see all of these guys right here. Like, I fully expected to walk in here and strike out. But as true collectors do, you know, I took all of them home. I figured out a way to do it. We is not going to not go home with these guys, right? So now we're going to open these guys up. We're going to see what's going on. To be honest with you, I got so many Spider-Man. I don't even know where I'm going to put these guys, but I had to get them. So let's knock it out. Let's open it up together and let's see what's going on. Okay, I'm getting too excited. So before we open them up, right, let's just look at the artwork really fast. So the Tom Holland and the Tobey Maguire have the same exact artwork going on. I'm just going to leave one of them there as the example, and then we'll just move forward from there. So we have the No Way Home packaging on the Tobey Maguire, and then we have the Spider-Man 2 on the Andrew Garfield, which I believe was because of licensing issues. But, you know, in true Marvel form, they don't care about no contracts. We're going to figure out a way and loophole this, and they brought it back to Spider-Man 2. So let's flip around the back and let's see what's going on with that. So on the back of the artwork, on the back of the retro card, we have the same thing going on. We have the Spider-Man No Way Home artwork on the Tobey Maguire figure, and then we have in true Marvel form, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, which nobody really cares about that movie, but we care about the figure. And I really don't care how you bring it to life, just bring it to life, and I'm glad they did. So that's what's going on with the back. The only one who has a different artwork is the Andrew Garfield, and I just want to put it out there right now. That is my favorite Spider-Man. It is what it is, and it's probably because of this scene right here.
You know, in the future, if you're gonna steal cars, don't dress like a car thief, man. Of the true scholar, sir. Guys who do the luge, get out the window. There you go, you got it. Whoa.
Just let me go.
Is that a knife? Is that a real knife?
Yes, it's a real knife.
My weakness, it's small knives.
Just let me go.
Anything but knives! Oh, it's so simple. That was cool.
What the hell is this?
Webbing that I developed myself. I don't think you really want to know.
Come on, let me go. Man, no. Come on, let me go. Stop it.
All right, so I already let the cat out the bag, and everybody knows that Andrew Garfield's my favorite. So guess what? We're gonna save him for last. Let's start off with who I think is everybody's personal favorite, or the majority's personal favorite, and let's go with Tobey Maguire. We're gonna open up this bad boy right here and see what we got going on. So here we have the Tobey Maguire, and the reason why I just put him in this really lackluster pose really quick was because I was super nervous as I was opening this figure, because I've been hearing everything that you guys have been hearing about the tight joints and the snapping, and I was like, damn, with my luck, I would pop a leg off Tobey Maguire really quick. But let me just show you, like, he is bending the way he's supposed to bend. I've bent them all the way this way, and I just wanted to show you that I've moved them all the way around, and I have had no issues with him. So we are 33% of the way there. So let's see what's going on. Let's stand them up. Check this out. We are gonna do a vanilla pose for this guy. So even though I was moving him around and it did not pop out, I have noticed some things about this figure that kind of bother me. So his left hip does pop out kind of when I move it a certain way. And let's take a look at that real fast. So you see the hips are perfectly straight, but once I move it, and look at that. Do you see that? Do you see how the left leg is dropping lower than the right leg? And I have to kind of like pop it in like he was dislocated. So yeah, my figure didn't break, but I can tell you right now that he's like handicapped. So I'm gonna have to like continuously pop that socket back into place. It comes out slightly. It doesn't come out to the point where the leg is gonna fall off or anything like that. But it is noticeable where if he was walking, he would definitely have a limp. So let's move forward to Tom Holland. And here we have Tom Holland fresh out the box. Now I can see one difference right away. So the first thing I can see is that Tobey Maguire only comes with one set of alternate hands, which is the web shooting hands, and it comes with the Tobey Maguire head as well as the Spider-Man head. But Tom Holland comes with the wall crawling hands, the web shooting hands, and the fisted hands, as well as the Spider-Man head and the Tom Holland head. So basically just an extra set of hands, but hey, we're already paying like too much for these figures if you ask me, because we need hundreds if not thousands of these figures to make it happen. So, you know, every penny counts. I want every accessory that I can possibly get. I can tell you right now that the Tom Holland, although this looks like a lot flatter, it looks like shinier, this is a textured suit. Like when you rub your fingers across it, you will feel like the red is like popping up. It is not flat, even though it looks flat. This is a textured suit, and I think it goes well because when you look at the Tobey Maguire, you're gonna see that he has the old school Spider-Man with the silver lines going through it, and you know each one of these suits has something different going for it, and it has a different detail, and that's their detail. So this one will be the lines, whereas the Tom Holland will be the red in between the lines. You just can't see it probably through the camera, but if you had this figure, you would for sure be able to run your fingers across it and you will see the difference. One more thing I want to bring up is with my Tom Holland, I didn't put him in that same pose because when it comes to this joint right here, the top of the double knee, I can't get this to bend. I don't know if I'm just nervous about it, but it does not want to move. The right knee does, both of them move, but the left one, not really at the top. And since I've been warned already of what could possibly happen, I'm kind of apprehensive about just forcing it. So I'm going to put these guys in vanilla poses for you. I'm going to put them in Ziploc bags and put them in some hot water for a couple of hours. But that's going to be after this video. So for right now, we're going to get them standing up or whatever I think is safe because, you know, I love you guys, but I'm not trying to lose my figures. And here we go with my personal favorite, Andrew Garfield, the Amazing Spider-Man 2. So, I'm not even trying to be funny, but let's break this down really quick. So, Tobey Maguire needs a hip replacement. Tom Holland, kneecap, he needs a knee replacement. And when it comes to Andrew Garfield, he is the only figure I have pulled out the box that is doing great straight out the box. Like every single joint works, every single thing moves, nothing squeaking, nothing makes me feel apprehensive, nothing makes me feel like, yo, this guy is gonna break in your hands. And I just want to put that out there real quick. It's probably the luck of the draw, but if I had to pick one of them, I'm glad it's him that I got perfect. So here goes the No Way Home click all masked up. You see their head sculpts underneath them so you know who is who. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I like all three of these figures. They all complement each other. But I have one gripe amongst all three of them. And I'm going to check that out in a little bit. I think I'm right. But I'm just going to double check. So let's go through the costumes really fast. The Tom Holland Spider-Man is really bright. He has like a metallic blue going on, which is kind of different. I don't have any Spider-Man costume that actually has this shine going on to it. I love the red. It's very vibrant, and it has a feel to it, like shark skin. You can almost feel it as you rub against it. I also love the eyes, and I love the mask, and then I think it gives a nod to the Japanese Spider-Man or the Amazing Spider-Man when he was like 16 or 18 or whatever. Right then and there, I think that does great. We're gonna skip over to Tobey Maguire. And I really love his costume as well. You know, the detail on the lines, and you can also feel it protruding. It's not painted on. It's like paint on paint, but it's also raised paint. He has a different set to the eyes. He has more of a triangular look. And I haven't seen the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans in a long time, so I don't remember if that was the case. But I'm definitely going to take a look now because I want to see if those eyes are true to form. And then we have my bread and butter, Andrew Garfield. And I love this figure right here. I love the color scheme to it. I love how it's darker. He has the dark blue with the dark, almost burgundy red. I love the eyes. I feel like his eyes, if I get it to zoom in, I feel like his eyes are the truest of form out of all three of them. And I'm not trying to be biased. I mean, I would say that regardless. Like, if you just took a picture of the eyes, I would say that his eyes are the best. So I pulled off one of the Spider-Man from my shelf that was like the easiest to get to, and it was this one where it wouldn't disrupt anything else. And I was right. All right, so listen, my gripe about these three particular Spider-Man is I feel like they're preemies. So when you look at their hands are like Beetlejuice hands. So let's just take the Tom Holland, right? If you see this hand is super small. I mean, when you move the hand, the fingers bend. You know what I mean? Like you almost feel like you're gonna bend out of place. They feel very, very small. And then I was like, well, okay, well, let me see one of my other Spider-Man that doesn't have that because I don't remember that being the case. And when you see this guy's hands are official. So, all right, let's take this guy back and let's put them side by side. Do you see what's going on here? Do you see how small those hands are? And then look at this fist. This fist is super small. That's the thing that I don't like about these figures. Like these figures all came out with like the Amazing Spider-Man body mold, but only look at that fist. Only as far as the hands. Look at that. Whoa. That's a big difference. And that's what I would expect from the Amazing Spider-Man, the black and red with the blue spider on the back. Because, he was a teenager when that happened. That was, one of his first adventures, and he was very young. I don't expect that from a fully grown Tobey Maguire. I don't expect that from Tom Holland, who's been around the MCU for I don't know what 8-10 years or who knows. And I don't expect that from definitely from Andrew Garfield, who they said was the oldest Spider-Man. He was too old to play Spider-Man 10 years ago, but he just played him 2 years ago, whatever. So those hands really bother me. I don't know if they bother you, but it's hard to see a figure like this punching somebody. Look at that. It's almost like the same size as his forearm. It's like there's almost no difference. That bothers me. Like, how is he going to fight somebody like the Lizard or somebody like the Rhino with hands that are like premature? That bothers me. So all in all, what do I think about these figures? I think that these are great figures to have in your collection. I wanted them in mine. I'm very happy that I didn't buy the No Way Home 3-pack because I think it came out cheaper buying them like this. But, you also run the risk of not being able to get all three. But, God was with me, so I did get them. But, I feel like these figures are cool, but I would not throw them into my 616 universe. I wouldn't put them in with like Scorpion and Hobgoblin and Green Goblin. I just feel like they're super small in size. I don't want to say it's an MCU thing because I have a whole bunch of MCU figures where that's not the issue. At the end of the day, though, Spider-Man is Spider-Man. I want to say, I mean, I haven't done a count in a minute, but if I had to take a rough guess, I probably got about 35 Spider-Man in my collection. And he's just one of those guys where, I mean, you can collect Spider-Man by himself all day and it'll be a full-time job. So, I'm happy I got these guys. I'm probably going to put them in the corner by themselves with their unmasked heads on, just talking like they was on top of the Statue of Liberty in No Way Home. I'm probably going to do something like that where they're not involved in what I got going on. I am going to display them, but they're not going to be like actively participating, which is cool with me. I know how hard Spider-Man is to get. I know it's probably going to be, super hard for you to try to get all the three of these guys, especially on one shot. I mean, God was with me. But, I think these guys are worth having in your collection. I just feel that the scale may be slightly less than all the other Spider-Man counterparts. aside from the Amazing Spider-Man, which he was already small because that's when he first started. These people are at the end of their lines. All of these figures, at the end of the day, are at the end of their respective trilogies or about to be, so they should be a lot bigger. That's my only gripe, but at the end of the day, I'm glad I got them. I wish they came with web accessories, of course, but that's probably just a little too much to ask for because they knew that these guys were going to fly off the shelves regardless. They could have put them with no extra hands, no extra head sculpts, and they would have still sold. Hasbro knows that, so I don't blame them. I want to thank you for stopping by Clever's Multiverse and going through this review with me and, seeing what I have to think about these guys. Let me know in the comments, what is it that you guys think? Do you guys think that these are worth having in your collection? Do you feel the same way I do about the scale? I mean, the hands very much bother me, but, it's not that big a deal. I'm just going to put it to the side and call it a day. So once again, until next time, peace.